Now I swear that I am not baiting you at all by saying that this is currently the hardest game I've ever had to 100%. PSN Profiles throws out a 9 out of 10 for this game, and my god, it was not lying at all. What game could this be, Yoma? Super Meat Boy? Wolfenstein? No. This is a game that I'm positive a lot of you guys have not heard of, and it's called Catherine. This is a game developed by the same developers that made the Persona games, but the rated R version for reasons. Not only does the main gameplay include insanely hard puzzles, a game mode that is one of the most difficult things I've had to do, 8 different endings, and yes, I'm not joking with that, but 8 different endings all together with different outcomes, but the entire achievements list themselves include 20 missable achievements too, which this game has 50 achievements we are going for. Why do I do this to myself? Everyone talks about Super Meat Boy, Crash 4, and all those being insanely hard, but man, this game does not get enough attention for how extremely hard it is to get the platinum. So of course, I had to take that heavy burden with me and showcase my journey for it. And if you guys are ready for this beating I'm about to show you, make sure to subscribe, like, and to come check out my Twitch channel over at Yoma97. I'm currently doing a retro achievement grind for my all-time favorite game, Donkey Kong 64. You don't want to miss it. But without further ado, let's get into this weirdly sexual, entertaining, hard as hell game of Catherine. And before anyone mentions this, but yes, there are 2 versions of this game. I'm playing Catherine Classic, which is known to be harder than the newer one called Catherine Full Body. There's a good number of differences between the two, like an additional character, more endings, and just more things overall. But Catherine Classic is harder because the difficulty of this game never got balanced, and this game doesn't give you any handicaps to help you in the game. So I chose perfectly. Yay. Also, big note here, I'm gonna make this video entirely spoiler free because I can promise you this, you do not want to spoil yourself before you play. It is a weirdly sexual game, but the story is amazingly fun, weird, and the characters are even better. I promise you, you will not be disappointed with this game for more reasons than not. And knowing that this game has 8 different endings, I have no clue how I would even go about showcasing all the endings and lead ups to them. So trust me on this, it's for the better. But a little synopsis of this game is that you are playing as a 32-year-old systems engineer named Vincent Brooks, voiced by a younger Troy Baker, who absolutely kills this voice acting, and basically, he gets himself in a situation where no person should really get themselves into, which includes a cheating one-night stand. And you know, speaking of stands, Vincent Brooks finds himself in some extremely weird scenarios, and the main gameplay involves nightmares where you are climbing up a tower by pulling, pushing, and traversing blocks for every nightmare. Sounds simple, but oh my goodness, it is anything but simple. And it gets even worse after you beat the game with gold prizes, because there is a game mode called Babel that makes almost 100% of people quit the platinum. I'll explain more of this monstrosity later on. So before I could even start this game and get achievements, I ran into a few problems with the PC release of this game.
It's Vincent Brooks.
Oh! Did the game just crash? No fucking way it just crashed. The game just crashed. Not the game crashed. No way. Uh-oh. That's not good.
20 minutes later.
Yeah.
So I've never played this, by the way. Don't. What in the fuck, man? Why is my game crashing? Damn it. This is a typical Yoma stream. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, so after fixing my game, finally, I was introduced to the nitty-gritty of this game, puzzles and climbing. And unfortunately, this is where we are going to start jumping around at a pretty consistent rate, because not only are the majority of these achievements tied to the story, but some of the achievements can low-key give the plot away. I'm trying my best here, man. Oh, and this game is low-key disturbing at times, but in most cases, it's funny somewhat. There are dark themes and imagery all through the game, so if you like that type of stuff, then you should play this. But after the tutorial stage, I unlocked the first achievement of our journey. The nightmares have just began, and oh man, they were right about that. And luckily, they made some achievements easy enough by just playing the game and doing specific moves. Like our next achievement, Push It to the Limit, which wants us to push 5 blocks at once. And let me throw you a quick little introduction to the scoring of this game. Each stage has a cumulative score for each floor you do. So if we are on stage 2, but on the first floor, whatever score you you get on that first floor will carry over to the second floor of stage 2. I hope that makes sense. And the reason why this matters is because to unlock the final game mode, Babel, you need 9 gold prizes altogether to unlock all the stages. And there is an additional achievement for completing the whole game on hard difficulty, but with all gold prizes. This achievement is just terrible and hard. So if you can imagine it, these gold prizes and scoring all became harder and harder with the more we advanced. And speaking of Babel, I was able to unlock the first stage of it by earning my first gold prize by completing all of the floors of stage 2, which also gave us the Great Escape achievement for completing the stage on top of unlocking the first Babel stage. With more progression into the story and floors being beaten, I changed the music in the bar that we were hanging out in and completed stage 3 and 4 for their own specific achievements too. And for one of the missables, or should I say 4 of the missables, are tied to cocktail, beer, whiskey, and sake trivia. This game is mostly narrated for every single moment, so the 4 of the 20 missables want you to drink whiskey, beer, sake, and a cocktail after every single nightmare to get a new trivia fact. If you don't drink those after every night, you will not be able to obviously get those achievements. And knowing that there are a good amount of trivia in each drink, here's an example of what the trivia sounds like.
Have you ever heard of the term angel's share?
No.
During the aging process, some whiskey will be lost to evaporation. This is called the angel's share.
Oh.
I hear that if they seal it so it doesn't evaporate, the whiskey doesn't have that nice aroma. What a fancy way of saying it. And that was the
I
trivia
love this
for
guy's
tonight.
voice. Oh my god. If I could have a voice, like a different voice, it would be that voice.
Already?
Imagine. Goddamn. After drinking my sorrows away, I managed to get the I Can Fly achievement for bouncing on a spring block 3 times in a row, and managed to complete stage 5 with my pillow still intact. With stage 5 out of the way, I had to stay in the bar until all the customers left for an achievement, and it's totally not because I'm lonely or anything. And getting back into my nightmares, I made a big oopsie and got the Bomber Lamb achievement for blowing up 15 blocks totally on purpose with a single explosion. I completed stage 6 soon after that, and with stage 7, I took quite literally around 3 hours to beat this stage. I'm playing on normal mode, and the game was just relentless with throwing me random things and puzzles to do. It was so crazy, man. But luckily, I pushed on and grabbed that achievement too. I had to play this game off stream quite a bit because it was a grind fest trying to get more saves for the 8 different endings, but I managed to get my 3rd gold prize to unlock the second Babel stage for later. Alright everybody, buckle up because I unlocked a ton of achievements the 3rd stream. And this is because, as I just mentioned from before, I was prepping the 8 different endings by playing up to a specific part of the game and saving. Some call this save scumming, but I call this innovation, because I am not playing this game 8 separate times all the way through for 8 achievements. You got me messed up if you think I'm doing that. So continuing on, I completed stage 8 for the story achievement, and I would obtain another 4 missable achievements for helping out 4 of my buddies I met in the bar. I won't explain anything about them because they all take part of the main story too, but here they are getting unlocked. One's for my dude Justin, another for Daniel, and then the other 2 being Todd and Archie. And immediately after this, I got the 4 other missable achievements for listening to all the drink trivias. One for cocktails, one for whiskey, one for beer, and the last for the sake. And if you can believe this, I actually planned out these achievement unlocks. I know, I'm the best. But these achievements were all done right before the last stage, which is number 9. During stage 9's floors, I got the Take Your Time achievement for moving a dark block 10 times in a row, and I finally got the last stage achievement for completing the 9th stage. My girlfriend was also watching along, and from her own perspective, she's not really a gamer, but she absolutely loved this game and the story within it. So if that doesn't convince you to at least watch this game in chronological order or play it for yourself, then I can't help you. But every time you complete stage 9, you get a different ending based on the choices you make and answers throughout the whole game. The names of these secret endings all spoil each and every ending, so this is going to be a little messy, but for this part of the stream, I unlocked 4 different endings to show off because they are all crazy in themselves and pretty entertaining. I also unlocked the Welcome to the Coliseum achievement for beating the the game and unlocking a 2-player competitive mode. So counting up all the achievements, we are now at a grand total of 30 out of 50. I would play this game off camera again to unlock the 3rd Babel stage for the achievement 5-Star Man for earning 5 gold prizes. So funny story, but I knew that doing the Golden Child achievement required a lot, and I mean a lot of skill and patience. Who would have guessed that the hard difficulty is crazily hard? Not like ramp up the difficulty slightly, no, this is more like you need to be insane at the game and know every single moveset known to man. It was a wild time. So I took the initiative and recorded my process of getting the gold prizes on all 9 stages. And luckily with me playing this game for a while now, I got through most of the stages pretty fast, up until stage 9, which my girlfriend decided to call me mid-recording while I was getting my butt kicked. And remember, I'm trying to get a gold prize on this stage altogether, and it was extremely hard, like harder than anything I've ever done for this channel and achievement grind. I wish I was joking. But with stage 9 being a complete spoiler in itself, here's me getting the gold prize after losing for a while with my girlfriend on the phone while I was recording. What an epic moment. Yeah, I got it, gold. Oh my god, I got the gold. And I got that live, or I got it recorded. My hair looks like a fucking mess. You're on the phone. Oh my god. Say hi to YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
There you go. They heard it. And immediately after that, I hung up the phone with my girlfriend and knew that I was 1 floor away from getting this insanely difficult achievement. Which, once again, this whole stage is a big boy spoiler, but after 55 minutes of constantly losing and resetting, I was finally able to complete every single stage on hard, plus getting all the gold prizes to get this dog water achievement. I did it. I did it.
Scant.
Oh my god, I did it.
Scant.
That was perfect. Screenshot. Screenshot. Yes. It says earn gold prizes on hard difficulty. Now, if you thought that last achievement was hard, then oh man, get ready for the legit hardest achievements I've literally ever gone for, and I'm talking about the infamous Babel. This is a game mode with 4 stages to climb, and the rules within Babel include 1 life to complete the stage, the puzzles get longer and are completely random, and you cannot undo your moves just like in hard mode in the original game. On top of that, the Babel mode is easier when played cooperatively, but unfortunately, this game does not do online co-op, so I played Babel mode 2-player on the same keyboard, controlling 2 separate characters at one time. I seriously cannot make this up. So when I started my 6th stream, I focused my whole energy on Babel. I beat the first stage in just under 9 minutes without dying and having to control 2 characters. The first stage takes almost 10 minutes to complete without dying, and obviously, if you die, you reset and have to do it all over again. But hey, Babel stage 1 was pretty easy. How bad could stage 2 be? Oh man, I streamed for around 5 hours, right? And it took me 30 minutes altogether to get Babel 1 completed. And unfortunately, I could not beat Babel stage 2 for the rest of the stream. That's how bad this was. There are 4 stages altogether, and all I got was pain and suffering. I even brought my girlfriend along to help me do stage 2 of Babel, and we still couldn't make it far enough to even make a dent. So now what? I had a moment of freaking out, not gonna lie. This was deemed literally impossible for me to accomplish, and I would consider myself pretty good in knowing how to learn and get better, but unfortunately, it takes around 15 to 20 minutes of constantly playing Babel stages to even complete them, and on top of that, they are completely random, so you never know when you are going to get a new pattern or block. So I started to think, and this is going to be extremely controversial on what I'm about to say and explain. I had an extremely nice person named Ren the Pianist that watched my stream that very night of me playing and embarrassing myself in Babel. Ren is a speedrunner of Babel and has consistently gotten world records and held insanely fast times on speedrun.com. He explained that I could use a program called Parsec to help me beat the Babel stages. Parsec is a way for someone to gain access to one's computer by remotely playing from their own computer or device. Basically, Ren can join me in my game and control another character while I control the other one. And initially, I declined because this game doesn't have online functionalities other than a leaderboard system. But after hours upon hours attempting to beat the second Babel, I almost gave up. But Ren didn't want to see me give up. And from the kindness of his heart, he helped me and straight up carried me to these achievements. I'm not going to be hiding and lying about what I did with this, but the only thing I can say is Ren single-handedly saved the video and achievement grind just for being a homie. And just to put you in perspective, Babel Stage 4's achievement and trophy percentages respectively are 0.9% for Xbox, 1% for Steam, and 1.2% for PlayStation. Overall, I recorded the entire process of me playing with Ren and my genuine reactions to the skills just being showcased to me and the achievement pop-ups too. And once again, make sure to give Ren so much love because it was just an insane gesture and just shows how good of a person he is. And I know he'll be watching this, so thank you so much, Ren, for saving everything about this 100% journey.
Here we go.
No way. No way. No way.
Finally, we have a pair of universe-beating clients.
No
Amazing.
way.
Damn, that was some fancy footwork.
0.9. Oh my God. Yeah, baby. With Babel being officially over and my achievement grind saved by Ren, I knew I had this 100% in the bag. Babel and the gold prize achievements were the hardest things I've ever had to do, so I did my due diligence and ended this game with a plan. I started with doing the Rapunzel stages, which are an in-game arcade machine in the main bar, where you play the same gameplay as regular Catherine, but with predetermined moves and only allowed a certain amount of moves for each stage. It's basically a fun little side challenge, but the problem with Rapunzel is it gets extremely difficult and that there are a ton of levels. In fact, it has 128 levels, and it took me roughly 5.5 hours of constantly playing it over and over and over. Also, there is a repeating classical song that was just ingrained in my mind, and listen to this. 'But the lucky thing is, and you can shame me all you want, but I mentioned that this Rapunzel game mode is all predetermined. Nothing is RNG about this, and I played a good amount of levels blindly, but I got sick and tired of resetting and all of that, and just looked up guides. I'm sorry. I know, shame me all you want, but even with the guides, like I said, it took me 5.5 hours just because of the sheer number of levels you must accomplish. So finally, I unlocked the past a heap of puzzles for completing the first 64 stages of Rapunzel. And then to unlock the other 64 stages, you must insert a secret code, which unlocks the A Mystery Within a Puzzle achievement. And then lastly, after completing every single level 128 times, I got the legendary prince for my accomplishments. Misery upon the world of men. Congratulations.
Is this okay?
One percent. Well, luckily after that painstaking experience, I unlocked a few miscellaneous achievements that were fast, which included sliding an ice block 5 or more blocks, helping Officer Morgan with his problems, which additionally unlocked the Everyday Hero achievement for helping all of my homies out, and finally, I replied to every single text message ever received. So now, after already doing 4 of the 8 endings, I simply reloaded my saves 4 times to unlock the next 4 endings to make the achievement count at 48. And if you can believe this, the last 2 achievements are for viewing all of the endings and unlocking all of the achievements. And with that being said, I appreciate you all that have made it this far. I hope you enjoyed my reaction to the 100% achievement unlock for the hardest game I've currently ever had to achievement grind for a weirdly sexual narrative puzzle game in Catherine. We did it. It's over. It's over. We beat Catherine. We beat Catherine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh.
Thank God it's over, I can finally stop edging. Ah Yama, holy shit, what did I just witness? Why did I see booba? Why so many naked people? WTF, wait, what, you beat Catherine already? Booba time over, no.
Chat, say goodnight, say goodbye to Ultra Booba Simulator puzzle game that turned out to be one of the hardest fucking 100% I've ever had to goddamn go through. Say goodbye. We are never playing this game ever again. Once again, thank you all for watching. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe, like, and to come check out my Twitch channel over at Yoma97. And if you want to see more grinds, make sure to check out my 100% playlist right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.